Welcome to Grateful to Create Mixed Media Art Channel. Today I'm excited to share with you this piece that I created. Here I am using a stamp, which I forgot the name of it, but you can definitely find it at Michael's Art Craft store. And so here I'm just simply stamping down my image on, I believe, I'm using on a piece of paper. And then also I'm stamping it, will be stamping it on my canvas that you see there. Here I am using some of the paint that I'd like to use with my brayer, and I'm just rolling it on. I love the effect that it gives when I put this on canvas art pieces because it's so quick, it's so simple, and it just adds a really neat look, in my opinion, to the piece of art. And it's simple. Here you see I am cleaning my brayer, which is very important to do when you are using one such that it can be available for the next use. I am gluing down my girl, my stamp that I stamped earlier with a piece of paper using gel medium, which you can use. And then I started to use a paint marker to do the skirt, but I decided I did not like the way that was turning out at all. So I decided to use scrapbook paper, and I'm just simply stamping the image, and I will cut out the dress, and I decided to do the shirt yellow, a different color, which I'm so glad I did. It really helped to pop the art piece, which you'll see. And so here I'm just stamping, trying to get the best image that I can get, such that it is easier for me to cut out and simply paste on. Now, as I was doing this, I have to tell you, I had a wow. I felt like the Father took me back in time and he showed me this is what you used to do when you were a little girl. And it's true. I would sit for hours. My grandmother would get me paper dolls, and I would sit there and entertain myself by just applying different clothes, looking at the different pictures on the girls, etc. And I would do it for hours. But it's funny how in life you can lose or almost forget totally what you used to like to do when you were a child. Here you see I am simply applying watercolor, and this particular watercolor has actually a shimmer. Please excuse my hand, I am right-handed. I did not think about that doing the video, but you can see here I am intentionally painting the girl, I think like gray was the color I sort of used, and it has like a shimmer effect on it, which I really enjoyed. But I painted her gray because I wanted everybody to relate to her. And so here I'm just doing more detail work. But anyway, going back to what I was saying about when we're young, because of life and the different things that we go through, a lot of times we just forget what brought us joy. You know, what were some of the things we did do when we were young, for those of us who were even able to have a childhood per se. And one of the things I'm grateful to the Father for is that he is a redeemer. Hallelujah. And during this time when I was creating this piece, I was just feeling redeemed, you know, being able to live in that moment as a child and experience the joy that I felt when I was able to put the different art clothes on the girl, etc. Here, I am testing out to see on my paper if that blue was right. And I do apply this blue to the end of the dress because I noticed that when I cut the piece, you could still see some of the white around it. And so I'm just filling it in so when I put this dress on, you would not be able to see as much of the white as you would had I not. And as you see, I have that paper there because it helps to guide me. Oh, I show you the watercolor that I used, which also came from Michael's as well. Now, they don't endorse me, but I'm just telling you so that you can know where to pick up the materials. And so, again, I was just so grateful to create it and be blessed by it. And as I was sitting there, I too was being reminded of other things I had in my hand when I was a child and things that He has brought up in my adult years that He wants to be placed back into my hands to be used for His glory. Praise the Father that when we are in His presence, He knows how to do that. Here I just highlighted, or should I say, drew the lines in with the girl's hair darker so that you could see it. And here I am applying the embellishments, things that I wanted to pop out on the artwork to give it more of a three-dimensional look. I add some flowers, gluing it down with my hot glue gun. I also used a piece of string, the yellow, to go around her skirt, which I have not been able to use since I purchased it, but grateful that at that time the Father gave me an idea as to what I could use. There I put a little flower down at the end of her belt. Then I applied my princess embellishment, which really ministered to me, let me know no matter what I'm going through or have been through in my life, I am who the Father has said that I am, and I am a princess in His sight. Some of you guys can relate to this if you have had a past that you're not proud of. I also put a key on here called Journey, which too ministered to me because it let me know, embrace my journey. This is a journey. I am outlining my artwork using this ink, should I say, going around the edges to kind of give it like a vintage look, and I've really, really loved that. It just made the piece, in my opinion, to just start to come together even the more. And so here I am showing you more of it. And also signing it. Now, once I finished, of course I wasn't finished. When I continued to look back at the art piece, I saw that it just needed more. And so I ended up using a stencil with some gold with the triangles that you see there. I also put some flowers there, more on the dress. And I did some journal writing to tell about just what I told you in this video. Well, I hope you have been blessed by seeing this. God bless.